Hello, everyone. Welcome to part two with Alyiaha, Dead Celebrities Reading Sessions After Hours. This is your narrator, Lisa Damia, and we're going to go ahead and pick up where we left off. So we know that Alyiaha had an abortion when she was with R. Kelly at the age of 15, pregnant with his child, and we know that her mother and her father and her family members did get her out of that relationship. But besides that, let's talk about Alyiaha's death and what happened to her death and why was she set up and what was going on during that time period and why did she, out of all people, had to take that flight and that plane crash. So today we're going to go ahead and give it to you tonight, and we're going to get into this deep reading that you guys do not want to miss. So stay tuned, sit tight, and we're back. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So we know that Alyiaha has a video on YouTube, and by the way, you guys can check it out. There's a video on YouTube that Alyiaha said she was always afraid of planes. She was terrified of an airplane. She would hear airplanes all the time over her. And when I seen that video, I had to go back and think about it. I said, wait a minute. Alyiaha did the movie Queen of the Dam, but think about it. Alyiaha did a movie that was not even written for her color. They didn't want Alyiaha to play that movie. She only got the role because she played a good role, and they all already knew that if they added Alyiaha to the movie, that it would automatically sell because she was already famous. She was already a singer. So anytime you put a famous person in a movie or add them to any film, it will automatically sell. So they knew that they could have made a lot of money by using Alyiaha. But deep down inside, a lot of white people felt like Alyiaha should have never played that role, that role was for a white woman. So this makes us already know that at the end of the movie, Queen of the Dam, Alyiaha burnt. Her character burnt to ashes. To ashes. When that plane crashed, it crashed to ashes. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's go ahead and get into this deep reading. We invite you guys to keep sitting tight and always keep following your narrator, Lita Diamond. I'm here with the full story. So let's go ahead and get into it. So when Alyiaha decided to pursue the movie Queen of the Dam, she played the goddess, the queen, vampire, the one who had all the power and all the control. But Alyiaha did not know that that would be her last movie. That movie there would be her last movie. Let me tell you something. Alyiaha was born to be a singer. But the way they looked at it in the industry that, hey, it's no way we're going to let her keep on being an actor. Like she want to do Romeo and Juliet, that was fine. Now she want to do Queen of the Dam. We have to stop her. Because at this point, she's worth more money dead than alive. And I tell a lot of people that we are worth more money dead than alive. And as you guys could see that this whole movie was evil. Queen of the Dam was evil. They call her the mother of all vampires. The way she ripped that man's heart out and it was still beating. It was a sign that Alyiaha, they was about to crush your heart. They was about to crush her heart. And I always said that Alyiaha mocked herself with this movie. I really wish I could have got to a lot of people because I would have told Alyiaha, do not do this movie. Do not do this movie. These people had already knew that Alyiaha was going to die. Believe it or not, in the industry, they already know what's going on. A lot of these people keep a lot of things secret because they are mind control in the industry. They are told what to do. Some of them told when to eat, when to go to sleep. You have to tour 7 days. You can't take a bath. You can't get a haircut. You know, these people are controlled by all these people in the industry. And one thing about Alyiaha, that had she lived, she would have definitely pursued more movies because she did a damn good job playing that role. But the only difference was they didn't want her to play it. That was meant for a white woman. So because she played that role and because she didn't want to stop, well, they wanted her to stop. They wanted her to stop at Romeo Must Die. That movie was supposed to be stopped. Alyiaha was not supposed to do any more movies because they wanted her to remain a singer. You see, they already have it planned to how they want you to be. If you don't do what you're told in the industry, they're either going to make you go away, lose your career. They're going to use drugs. We've seen what happened to Whitney Houston and how her image was destroyed. A beautiful woman turned into a crack addict. Now, you come on now. You come on now. If you don't see something wrong with that and that these people have been doing this for years, then something is wrong with you. So either they will let you go away, never make music again. And the thing about it that you guys don't know what these dark secrets is, half of the celebrities that you don't hear anymore are working 9 to 5 jobs. They don't have any money. They don't have any money because some of them refuse to do the things that they want them to do. And Alyiaha, she played this role thinking that, okay, I played this role. Now I'm going to go ahead on to do more music, more movies. But they already had plans for her. She was already afraid to airplanes. So why not get an airplane to take her life? Why not? So let's go ahead and get into it. As you guys could see, this image here, which was a beautiful image because Alyiaha was a very beautiful person. But when you see all this blood and you see how they destroyed a beautiful Alyiaha, when they planned Alyiaha's death, they wanted her to burn just like that movie, destroy her character. And Hollywood don't like black people. They don't like black people doing movie roles. You have to be very light skinned. Had Alyiaha been a little darker, I promise you she wouldn't have been able to play that role. But whoever the agent was, whoever was behind it, they definitely pushed for Alyiaha to do this movie role. And in this movie, we've seen a lot of dark things. We've seen the blood. We've seen her ripping the hearts out. We've seen all those people attacking her. Her body just burning back to dust. Keep in mind, on the movie, she was dead before the movie even started. You guys remember, she was dead before the movie even started. So think about it. They knew Alyiaha was going to die either way it go after she played this movie. It wasn't long that they was going to do what they had to do, but in reality, they had to plan the death of Alyiaha. They had to plan it. They had to plan it. So we're going to move on to the plane crash, and we're going to talk about that ending of the tremendous, sad story. But they already had planned that Alyiaha was dead before the movie even started. And a lot of people don't get that. A lot of times, if you got to go back and look at movies and cartoons like The Simpsons, they predict a lot of things that's going to happen, and it happened. They predict that Donald Trump was going to be president, and it happened. On the Mike Tyson movie, I believe they had Trump on the movie, and that movie is old. So they already knew Trump was going to be president, Obama was going to be president. They knew Tupac was going to be killed and assassinated. They knew this was already written. The only difference between Alyiaha and Left Eye, and I don't want you guys to get it twisted, because Left Eye death was not planned. It was definitely an accident. It was an accident. It was for what it was. Why would someone want to kill Alyiaha? That's the question everybody asks. Well, when you have greedy people around you, such as her uncle, who, was after money, and you have a lot of people that, she may have came in contact with, who may have told her that, we suggest that you stick to the music, and she may have said, well, I'm not going to, stick to the music. I'm going to go to the Bahamas and record my song, Rock the Boat, and then after that, I'm going to start pursuing another career in movies. It was no way they're going to keep letting Alyiaha, a black woman, successful as she is, continue to keep doing movies. So that brings us back to when she said she was afraid of plans and she was terrified of them. She would hear them all the time around her. They used that against her. And they already knew that she would be dead. Okay. So now they're saying, look how beautiful this girl was. Look how beautiful Alyiaha was. Do you think in your mind Alyiaha deserved to burn? Do you think her beautiful body deserved to burn? Because from my understanding, you could have did anything in the world, but why burn this girl body? That brings us back to the movie Queen of the Dam. Her character was burnt. Keep in mind, Aliyah was dead when the movie started, and I had to just go, watch the movie. And I said, hold up. So her character was already dead before the movie even started. And then at the end of the movie, her character burned to ashes. And then came the plane crash where she burned to ashes. Okay? So let's go ahead and get into the very deep story at the ending of her life. Aliyah was a good girl. I don't believe Aliyah did anybody any wrong. I don't believe Aliyah deserved this to happen. Yes, accidents happens. But in this case, when you're dealing with the industry and you're dealing with people who are around you that is after money, people don't realize that we are worth more dead than alive. When someone goes to jail, you ever heard this? They worth more money in jail than on the streets. Some people are worth more money dead than alive because sometimes, you have money on you. Aliyah had a lot of money. So whoever was the beneficiary, whoever was managing her, whoever signed a dotted line saying that they still had rights to her music and they was managing her, when she died, those people got paid triple the money. They got paid triple the money. They got paid all the money. More than her family, I bet you got. Whoever those people was that was after her and wanted her dead, they got paid all that money. And I bet you her family didn't even get half of the amount of that money. But I tell you one thing, we know that they didn't want Aliyah to go far. They didn't want her to do no more movies. They already had warned her that, look, this is how you gonna die. So you playing the exact role how you but to die. I would have told Aliyah because I knew when she did that movie that she was gonna die. And I wish I was around her to get to her and tell her that Aliyah, sweetheart, you're marking yourself. Do not do that movie. And sometimes, as a African American getting into the industry, we want to go as far as we can, but we don't think about the consequences of what it could cost us because Hollywood does not like black women as movie roles, models, and stars or whatever. Aaliyah definitely took over that whole movie role. I don't think a white woman could have did a better job than Aaliyah. And this has nothing to do with race. I love all people. Black, white, Chinese, all of that. I love all people. But what I don't like is the fact that Aaliyah was burnt in this tragedy accident. So on the day that Aaliyah was doing the movie Rock the Boat, Aaliyah was very tired and exhausted. Someone has said that, they drug Aaliyah, they drug her and put her on a plane. Well, one of her friends said she went in her room and she took a picture of Alyiaha. Alyiaha was sleeping. She was beautiful. She looked very, very beautiful when she was sleeping. Matter of fact, I just seen that image. I'm going to go back. She looked very beautiful when she was sleeping. And she said she took a picture of her taking a nap. And she never woke up. And that day, Alyiaha, they say Alyiaha didn't want to get on that plane. And they was complaining about the plane was overloaded, that it was too much things on the plane. But it had nothing to do with the plane being overloaded. This had something to do with the pilot already had a job to do. Most of the time when these people feel like they have a job to do, they're going to kill someone, so their family is already taken care of. The pilot family is already paid automatically because he agreed that I'll put my life on the line, I'll crash the plane, and I'll die. Just make sure you pay my family off. This is exactly what happened. This is exactly what happened on that plane. That pilot was under the influence of cocaine and all kind of drugs, and his only goal was to crashed this plane on purpose. It wasn't targeted to kill those other people that was on that plane. They was all innocent. It was only targeted to kill Alyiaha. Only her. But since they had other people on the plane, hey, it is what it is. Whoever's on that plane, if you have a job to do, then you're going to kill whoever's on the plane as long as Alyiaha was dead. And we all knew something was wrong behind this picture. You see, they want to get here and say that, okay, we blame the pilot. He was high. He was on drugs. He crashed the plane. That wasn't the case from the beginning. Her death was already designed to be set up. Nobody knew who was behind this, who would want to hurt Alyiaha. Why would they want to kill the innocent girl that did no wrong? We don't know who it was behind that. But we do know that what they did is they already gave this stuff away. Now, coming to the parts where they say they drug her, I don't know if Alyiaha was on any drugs because people have secret addictions. We don't know. Maybe she was taking pain medications, but they're saying no. She had a headache and they gave her something for the headache and she fell asleep and someone picked her up and carried her on the plane. I believe that everybody who was on that plane was innocent, totally was not meant to die. But because the pilot, he went on that plane, he knew he had a job to do. But he wanted to die under the influence of high. Because when you're high, you don't feel any pain. Your body is numb. So his only goal was to crash. They would find the plane. Alyiaha will be dead. They wouldn't have no pilot to talk to because he'll be dead. And all the witnesses will be dead. But I bet you any money, if they had a tape recorder on him recording that flight, recording him driving that flight, that plane, I bet you any money he did the wrong turn on purpose. I bet you any money he crashed that plane on purpose. This was a tragedy lost to a lot of people because everybody did not understand what happened. Why was she a target when she didn't do anything wrong? She did do something wrong. She made the mistake of getting in the industry thinking that they was going to let her be free. They was going to let her do what she want to do. You see, they all die in numbers. As you guys can see, all of them, Michael Jackson, Tupac, all of them. I can name so many of them that did the wrong thing going in the industry. Number one, you don't run your mouth. Number two, you don't disrespect them. Number three, you do what you're told. Number four, if you choose to not do what you're told, then you will suffer the consequences of either one, two, or three. And one, two, or three is either you're going to go away with your career and you're never going to make music. Number two, we're going to destroy your image. What you think happened to Tupac when he went to jail for rape? You know Tupac would never rape anybody, but he went to jail for rape. Left Eye, when Left Eye burned down that house, trying to destroy these people's images because they don't want to do what they say they got to do. Sometimes they even threaten their music. Put bad things in the media of them. They never put anything bad about Alyiaha because they couldn't find anything except for she was with R. Kelly. She was 15. She got married. She had an abortion. That was the only thing they had on Alyiaha. They didn't have anything other than she played that movie Queen of the Dam and she was getting ahead of herself. And that had to stop there. So all the rest of them, Michael Jackson, when he started speaking out against the Illuminati and all of these people in the industry, number one, let me explain to you guys what is the Illuminati. For you people who don't understand and don't have a deep mind, the Illuminati is no other than the government and body. They watch us everything that we do in the world. Yes, some people can get away with what they're doing. But on the other hand, when you a big timer in the industry and you making so much money, it's already funny that the government doesn't want you to make this money. But because you're making this money, now you have to do what you're told. Now you have to follow the law of life and live in their world the way they want you to do. You see, Aliyah did not sell her soul. She was just like Left Eye. She didn't sleep with nobody. She didn't do what they said to do. She was just doing her own thing. She was just living her life. And I believe that deep down inside, God did not have that day designed for Aliyah to die. There's two different things when it comes to death that we don't know about. Okay? There's two different things when it comes to death that we do not know about. Number one, yes, God has a day that we all supposed to die. Number two, sometimes people plot and kill people. Why? Because it's on their mind and they feel like they can stop God's plan. That, oh, this person, okay, we're not waiting on God. We am God. We're going to go ahead and take that person's life. And we're going to take it now because we want to do it. We're not waiting on God. I don't think that was the day Aliyah was supposed to die. I think God had his own plan for her. But of course, she followed in that number of the ones who died young. And all those people that these people be around are all demonized, all people who money hungry, all people who feel like they are in power to tell these people what to do. I'm telling you guys, the industry is not like it seems to be. It's really a very evil, satanic place to be. And being that I was almost in the industry. I was a long time ago. I used to manage rappers all the way from California to Florida. And I started off young. I started my career off young, just like them, at the age of 19 to 21. And a famous guy, I'm not going to call his name out, but he became famous with two famous ones that are big timers today. And he asked me to be his manager because he heard a lot of good things about me. So as I was in bed, he said he was sending his lawyer with the contract for me to look over. I had to sign the contract. And I felt like if I would have did that, I would have been in the industry stuck. I would have been miserable because this is a dangerous game when you get in this industry. It's not like it seems to be. Yes, it may look fun. Okay, I live singing, you do movies, you make money, you go on tour, you go on stage to the BET Awards. But if you notice at the BET Awards that everybody in the BET Awards is not even smiling. Half of them don't even clap. Half of them not even moving, or half of them got to clap together because they got somebody leading them. Okay, this is when you clap. This is when you stand up. This is who's going to win the award. This is who's not going to win the award. This is who died. This is who didn't die. You know, they have things like that. And a lot of times, a lot of people in the industry know these things are happening, but they don't say anything because they're afraid of what's going to happen to them if they go tell someone that they knew that Aliyah death was a setup, or they knew that, Aliyah, you know, was afraid of planes, or she mocked herself. I'm just using that as an example. A lot of these things happen in the industry that you guys don't even know about. But I thank God that I'm not in the industry today because the industry is a dog eat world. Everybody think it's fun making the money, but let me tell you something. At any time, these people can stop your career and destroy your image. And that's exactly what they did, Aliyah. They used what she was afraid of, planes. And we have the video on YouTube to back it up. We have the video of her saying she was afraid of planes, and they used that against her. And they used that movie, Queen of the Dam, to mock her. They told her, this is how you're going to die. They played her as a black artist, a black actor and artist. But I'm talking about a black actor on that movie. They played Aliyah and they showed her, this is how you're going to die. You're next. You know, a lot of people don't understand when it came to Aliyah and this happening, but when it came to COVID and we all got COVID, there was movies out years ago about COVID. I bet you if we go back in Google and we go back on YouTube and we say, okay, what videos do you have of COVID? And you catch a video of somebody talking about COVID 3-4 years ago, but we did not catch COVID, but they say COVID, just like Trump. When we watch all these movies and we've seen all these signs of Trump, Trump, Trump. We didn't know that Trump was going to be the president. Well, this is no other than People not seeing the signs that Aliyah was going to eventually be the one that died young. A lot of them have died in the industry for not doing as they was told. But we don't think that it was right for them to take Aliyah's life because she worked hard for her career. She was a black young artist learning her way up, an actor, learning her way up. But in Hollywood, they will not take a dark skinned actor. You can ask a lot of people who have been to Hollywood who have applied for these same roles. If, let's just say, if Aaliyah was the color of Kelly Rowland, she would have never got that role. Ever. Hollywood does not like black people at all. The only reason they let light-skinned people get in these movie roles are because they feel like that is the closest thing to white. The only reason Aaliyah got this movie role, Queen of the Damned, because her name was more bigger than any of the people who probably applied to be in that movie. Aaliyah was a big time singer. So automatically her name putting on the front cover, oh, Aaliyah's gonna be in this movie, everybody would want to see Aaliyah be in this movie. Damn the rest of the doggone people who was in the movie, we was there for to see Aaliyah. But everybody did not catch on to her dark, dark past, her dark, 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 dark. How could I say this? She wanted to be so deep in the dark side. The snakes around her neck, the wearing black. I think Aaliyah was wanted to go on the dark side to escape her pain. That pain from losing that baby at such a young age. Aaliyah did not want to do that to her baby. And I think that it bothered her, because she didn't want people to know what happened, but the truth did come out. It did come out that she got rid of her baby. And I don't think we should hold that against her because it wasn't really Aaliyah's fault that baby had to be aborted. It was to protect R. Kelly. And till this day, we still don't know what happened in that relationship with her and R. Kelly. If R. Kelly was arrested and indicted and charged with all of this abuse that he has did to women. Aaliyah never smiled on side of R. Kelly. You could tell when the man is controlling a young girl. You can tell. I don't think he was beating on her, but I knew that when she left him, it did something to her, that she got mad at her parents because she never wanted to leave him. She wanted to be with him because she was in love with him. She would do anything R. Kelly tell her to do. And I think I look at it today that we all love R. Kelly. No disrespect to R. Kelly. We all love R. Kelly. But I think that he owed it to Aaliyah to be a better man than the route that he chose. He didn't have to be out here doing this to these women. He's saying that they're lying and they're making up these stories on him, but I think he had a respectable girl, Alyiaha, that the public even overlooked. That Alyiaha was 15 years old. How can you overlook that? That is something that we cannot overlook. That she was 15 years old, messing with a grown ass man, and he knows she was a child, so he know better. We have to do better, people, when we looking at these stories and we going back in time and we trying to figure out what's the better way to explain to the public so that you guys can open your eyes to see. All of this is for you guys to be careful. Be careful what you do. Never let people take control of you. Always have your own mind. That's why you seen Tupac always just spoke how he felt. No matter if it get him in trouble. No matter if he went to jail, no matter if he got killed, you got to always have your own mind. And I think that's where Alyiaha went wrong. She trusted people. If Alyiaha was drugged and carried on this plane, she had to trust somebody. Somebody she knew had to give her this drug. And she trusted them. That's why I tell people, everybody keeps saying friends and family and all. You can't trust nobody. Nobody. Because those same people that you trust can be the same people that take your life. Now, the question also people are wondering, on that plane, do you think for a second that somebody in her entourage knew that that plane was going to crash? That was the number $1 million question. Did somebody in that entourage know that that plane was going to crash? And to answer that question, I think so. I don't think for a second that somebody, I'm not going to say the people that was on the plane with her knew, but the people who did not get on that plane definitely knew something was going down. And that's why they didn't get on that plane. Because when somebody is after you and put a hit out on you, those people going to have people line up in power. And one thing about the industry is they already have people lined up in order to know how things supposed to be done. It's no different than assassination. No different. When Alyiaha woke up that day, she was exhausted. She was ready to go. She didn't even want to be there from the beginning. She was already tired of being there. And she wanted to go home to her family. That's what people didn't realize. Alyiaha wanted to go home to her family. And that's why she was in a rush to get out of there. And also she was already afraid of planes. So Alyiaha definitely had to have so many people around her. So many people on the phone. Okay, Alyiaha is right there. She took a nap. She's getting up. She's walking to the plane. They're having a confrontation. The pilot, he had to been on call. He had to be communicating with someone that Alyiaha was boarding that plane. And when she got on that plane, they already knew that in a few minutes, Alyiaha would be dead. And all that mattered was he did his job. His family got paid off. I promise you, those people, whoever this pilot kin to, is paid. Because when you go do a big job like that, they take care of your family. It's no different than the army. When you go in the army and you sign up to get in the army, your family is well paid off for the rest of their life if you die in the army. Why? Because you was willing to put your life on the line and die for the U.S. Army. This is exactly what the pilot did. He knew that he was going to die with her. He did not care as long as his family was taken care of. A lot of people don't know that a lot of times people join the army so that their family could be well taken care of. My husband was in the army. I did not want to live with my husband getting killed in the army. Thank God he's out today. I did not want to be part of the army. People don't understand. When my husband was in the army, they told me and my husband we had to leave by January. We had no choice. Telling us where we had to go live, where we had to stay for the next 4 years until they would want to send my husband to another station. I told my husband, I am not about to let no army control me and tell me where I'm going to go. But that's what I had to do if I wanted to be with my husband. He said, we have no choice. We got to leave by January such and such. We got to hurry up and get married by January such and such. These people in the army is no good. They gave us no time to get out of here. Had already booked a flight and already had wanted me, my husband, to be in Germany so that he can fight their war. And even if it meant me going over there, getting killed with my husband, so be it. They'll take care of his family and mine. They already had cut the check. Okay? So when these people go to the army, the only things on their mind is having their family taken care of. They didn't care about Alyiaha's family getting paid. They made a deal with the pilot. So whoever was behind it to have her out of here, which we know the industry, the Illuminati, these big time people that goes into these meetings and all these cults and stuff like that. Well, she getting too famous off of Queen of the Dam. We shouldn't have let her do that movie. She's a black woman. She's going to sell so many copies. What's going to happen next? Where she's going to end up next? If she's going to try to do more movies, If she's going to stop, and this is the thing that people did not know. The last secret, this was the thing. Alyiaha was going to leave being a singer to go be a full-time actor. And nobody knew that. They didn't know that dark secret. But the Illuminati knew. The industry knew the deep secret. Alyiaha was not interested in doing music no more. Rock the Boat was going to be the last music video. It was going to be the last song that you was going to get, because she was quitting the music business and moving on to be a full-time actor. And sometimes the life of being a singer, it gets bored. The life of being a rapper, it gets bored, because that's all you do is do music, get on stage, go to awards. That gets boring. So what's the next thing for you to do? Find something else that you want to pursue. And that's why Alyiaha was targeted. That's why she was killed, because they did not want her to go and stop being a singer to become a full-time actor. This is your girl, Lita Damia. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Tomorrow we're going to be dropping another video with another dead celebrity. My thing is, Alyiaha was young and beautiful. I don't care what nobody say. They should have never did her like that. She didn't deserve to die in no plane crash. It's nowhere in the world. That girl was too beautiful. I don't care if she wasn't beautiful. Nobody deserved what she went through. And I think if they knew something was going to happen, if they really did care for Alyiaha and love Alyiaha, they would have never allowed Alyiaha to go on that plane. And this brings us back to the number one question that people had. Was anybody in her entourage in on this? Did anybody in her entourage knew this was going on? Well, let's bring it back. They say she was drugged. They say somebody gave her something for pain. What'd that tell you? That same person who gave her that drug, they had to put her to sleep. Somebody carried on a plane, had to get her on there some way, because they said that Alyiaha did not want to get on that plane at all whatsoever. She had a bad feeling that it wasn't right. The pilot wasn't right. It was something that was off. So that means that whoever was in that entourage, they should have also knew what's behind this. You see, when people are living that type of lifestyle, these people will use your own mama to take you down and get you to where you need to be, so that they can go head on and end your life. Like I said, in the industry, there's only three choices. You do what you're told, or your career is over. We're going to destroy your image. We're going to control how much money you make. The minute you think out the box and you choose to do your own thing, you see where you're going to end up. You're going to either end up dead, because you're worth more dead than alive anyway, or we're going to destroy your image like they did Whitney Houston. Turn her into a crackhead, Michael Jackson, a rapist, Tupac. Tried to put a rapist charge on him. Come on, now these people destroyed these people's image. The same people that they allowed to make the money, they destroyed their image. But the thing about it in the industry is, you don't make the money. Some of them die broke because the money never did belong to them. As long as you're doing music, you live a good life, you eat a good life, you pay for a couple of things here and there, you make a couple of bucks, but they all get the money back. They'll get it back. And what you don't know is that these people have insurance policies on these people. Different policies from what their family would have had. They have policies to where if something happens to an artist or a famous person, they get paid off all their music, all of that. They get paid all that. So they already knew that, Alyiaha, she was going too far. They was not about to let Alyiaha live and quit music to be an actor. That was never the plan for Alyiaha's career anyway. They wanted her to just be a singer. That's it. No Romeo and Juliet. no queen of the dam, just be a singer. But because she wanted to do more, she had two options out. We could have destroyed her career, but what that's going to do? We don't have nothing on her. We know she was with R. Kelly. She did all of this. That's not nothing compared to Whitney Houston became a whole crackhead overnight. It wasn't nothing in the world that could convince me a beautiful woman like Whitney Houston would turn into a crackhead. A man as powerful as Michael Jackson would be going to jail for child molestation. Tupac Shakur, a man that loved and respect women, that loved his mother, his sister, and his black women, would be tried to charge him with rape. These people, even DMX, David Chappelle, who refused to wear a dress, could tell you their stories, that they all, too, got what they tried to do to them, because if you don't do what you're told, then we're going to try to destroy your image. Or better yet, we'll kill you. If we can't kill you, what? We'll make you go away. We'll make you disappear. We'll leave you broke, working a 9 to 5. A lot of times you don't see these celebrities because the ones that's no longer singing no more, they're not making any music. We don't hear from them no more. They're just gone, vanish. A lot of times they'll pay them off to go away. Give them a lot of money to pay them off to go away. Because why? They're so busy concentrating on the big ones with the big names. Alyiaha sold all those music albums, and look what happened to her. Look what happened to her because she wanted to be an actor, movie actor, a black actress. No way Hollywood was going to allow that anyway. That was going to be her last movie, last video. And she was already making those steps to leave them anyway. With the Rock the Boat. You could have told that. You could have tell that that was Alyiaha's last music video from the expression on her face, that she was done. And then when they used the airplane of having her travel to the Bahamas, people didn't understand. They had her travel to the Bahamas on a plane, knowing she was terrified from the beginning. Then, of all places, the Bahamas, all around all that water. The question came in our minds, well, why didn't they just kill her on the boat? The boat could have sank. Alyiaha was on a big boat in the middle of the Bahamas shooting the video. So why didn't they choose to sink the boat or let her die of an accident in the water? Because they wanted her to know that your death was marked because you hated planes. That video is out there. And you did the movie Queen of the Dam with your character burnt and died. So we're going to get your ass hurt. We're going to let you die in the most fearful way and use what you was afraid of against you. And that's what's airplanes. You guys have a good night. I hope you guys enjoyed this 1 hour session of part 2 with Alyiaha. I hope that these videos bring clarity and peace to you guys. These videos are 100% true. We know that this is real. This is not a game out here. I hate to see that a beautiful woman like Alyiaha, died this way. That's a different story if it was an accident, but we all know that this was no accident. You guys have a good night.